From the Department of Fish and Game?
Fish and Wildlife, excuse me.
Fish and
Wildlife now,
right.
yeah, I said it. Fish and
Year
Wildlife.
hasn't passed.
Dave Zuzlak, Department of Fish and Wildlife. There is, and I can't cite the specific code, but in Fish and Game Code, a section that names pheasants as a naturalized
As a popular illegal immigrant?
naturalized game bird in the regulations, and as such, it's managed and hunted, and there's a season. It's protected, of course, by the regulations in terms of its harvest and the time of year, etc. So it is not treated as a non-native invasive species by code.
Yeah. So, are there any other instances? There's been quite a bit of discussion, certainly with your department, and more broadly with those concerned about predation and so forth, about bass, striped bass. But are there any other species that should be aware of that might unintentionally get covered by this? That would then, draw fire from folks saying, "Whoa, how'd the regulation cover that? We didn't expect that." Is there anything that comes to your mind?
Well, there's always the danger of something like the starling, for example. That's an invasive or a non-native species. Is it invasive? Yeah, I guess it's already invaded. It's all over your grapes, but it's also in your pastures, and it's in the eyes of the beholder. In my view, is it invasive and threatening habitats within the state or the delta in this particular case? And so when you have a new weed or a new clam that gets introduced in the ballast of a boat in San Francisco Bay or up the Deepwater Ship Channel, and it rolls out and starts taking over and displacing other native clams that fish feed on, then that's an issue. That's a problem, and that's what the focus of all the conservation strategies are focusing on, not the starlings and pheasants that have been flying around for a long time.
I think an aspect of this regulation and of the policy that underlies it, too, that I think can provide comfort to many is that this regulation is to be applied in a way that appropriately protects the ecosystem. That's the standard. So it allows the agency that's filing the certification and making to exercise that judgment about what's appropriate. I think with a species like pheasants, particularly, pheasants are not a damaging element in the delta ecosystem, and I think we can all recognize that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
If the chair would,
Mr. Siegel.
could I clarify something I'd said before? Because I think I can have a more precise response to the use of the master responses and the other responses to comments, which is that they would be part of the administrative record that goes to Office of Administrative Law. So they would, if someone challenged the Office of Administrative Law's determination that your regulations are valid, they would provide support for the Office of Administrative Law's decision.
Okay. I just note attachment 2E is a distillation, a summary of some of the things Mr. Siegel had said. The regulatory authority material that was already provided. Members, any questions beyond that? And then the last, I believe this is the last next to last attachment, is the attachment 3, cost analysis, proposed Delta Plan regulation. And these are not action items. I believe that is correct, Mr. Ray?
Yeah, they're just items for your information.
Okay.
They're staff products.
Attachment 3 and 4, which relate to cost estimations, are not action items for the council, but they are information for the Office of Administrative Law. I think that's the right way to phrase it.
And for the Department of Finance. So
yes, right. And I just note that it's in the packet material should you have any questions. I'd like to start with public comments on this, but let's see, following our previous practice, we want a motion and a second, then we'll get public comments, then we'll decide what to do. Okay, on the staff draft resolution 2013-3, which is before you in the packet, is there a motion?
So,
Mr. Nordhoff moves, second. Mr. Damrell. Okay, that is moved, that's seconded. I have one